here in Dubai, and we find that when we go away somewhere, it takes us a couple of days to rid ourselves of just the general sort of shoulder clenching stress that you go through on a day-to-day basis when you're back home, and you sort of take that away with you. And for those of you who remember One Foot in the Grave, bearing in mind I'm 15 years older than Lincoln, but there was Victor Meldrews who moaned about absolutely everything. And then there was Mrs. Meldrews who sort of, rolled her eyes and was a bit more logical about everything. But actually, Lincoln and I find that we are both Victor Meldrews, and we moan about everything. We're actually really quite up people, and we're quite happy people, but we do love a moan. And we found that for the first couple of days we were here, not anything Dubai related. We're loving Dubai. Lincoln's already moaning about me turning Dubai into my LA, where basically it turns out that I know so many people here that we can't actually hardly do anything together, because I'm constantly going, oh, I've just had a message from blah, blah. They only live round the corner, so we've got to go there. And he's going, no, I don't have to go anywhere. You can go there. And, I can't do that at lunchtime because I'm going to have coffee with such and such. But I'm just quite nosy as to, people who live in another country, where they live and what their day to day is. And anyway, so not to put too fine a point on it, I've got the runs at the minute.
Oh, cool.
I know, darling, but I'm just saying, because one of the things that I was moaning about that is a really annoying thing is toilet roll holders. Do you know the ones I mean?
Yeah.
Which ones do I mean then?
The ones in the cases where you're trying to pull it out, like the roll's underneath and you can't get to the roll. What,
Oh, yeah.
What you're saying.
So you've got...
Move that, but you've got to move... If I'm going to be talking as well, you've got to move it across a little bit.
Yeah, but it's more interesting what I'm saying, so I'll keep it nearer me. Anyway, I've got it on charge. Anyway, yeah, that's exactly it. So all I want from my toilet experience is to go to a nice toilet and to have a bar that sticks out, and there you go, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, there's your toilet roll on a stick. No. And they have this at ITV Studios, and I tell you what, it absolutely drives me up the fucking wall. So you've got the toilet roll encased in a case. You can't see through it. So you constantly are trying to get off the toilet to do your stuff. And, yeah.
You got to do that. Is it like a little finger wiggling?
We're both doing it here.
You got to wiggle your fingers till you get the little bit that's the flap that's flapping down, so you can pull on it. So you got to move the whole roll round to find the flap.
Darling, get your phone, because I want to be able to accompany some of this with what I'm talking about. So
I can't.
You can, darling.
No, I can't. It's on charge.
Darling, this is important. This is the podcast. We need to put some visuals on it a little bit.
It's on charge. And my head looks very red.
We so look like Brits abroad. The weather here is really deceiving. It's beautiful and sunny, but it doesn't feel like
this.
It doesn't feel like boiling hot.
This is what we mean by, when you put your hand underneath to get the toilet paper out, doing that, wiggling the fingers.
Yeah, so you've got the case on the wall, and you put your hand up it, and you can't find the end of the toilet paper.
Wiggle.
It's just swirling around.
That's what you do, you wiggle.
Swirling around.
You're trying to tempt that sheet out.
The end of the sheet.
You can pull it, and as well as that, usually they're so badly constructed, these rolls, that sheet comes off in your fingers.
Yes, so you get like one sheet off it, and then the others, a bit like a sellotape when you can't find the end.
Yeah.
That is just...
Anyway, that's
who invented that? And the other thing is, in toilets as well, and they've universally they've got this, right? And I don't like to generalise, but it must have been invented by a man with no nails.
Right,
No, listen to me. And I like it visually on me as well, so I can do the actions.
I can't hold it all the time.
No, stop.
Bye.
Don't be so silly, darling. Just hold it up. Oh, my God, that's driving me mad.
Wait a minute. Well, you're right. Just you don't want to.
No, the other thing in the toilets that drives me mad is the push button flush. Right. In our toilet at home in Cheshire, we asked Hayden, who did our bathroom a couple of years ago, to put a pull flush on it, not like a chain, because I'm so old I still say pull the chain like in the chain days, but a handle rather than a push button, because if you've got nails, which a lot of women and some men have, you can't push the button. You've got to then put your knuckle on it and push that in. And it's just so annoying. And all I ever want to do with these things that I moan about is find the person who sat round a table and went, do you know what would be a really brilliant idea and something that the market is lacking is a toilet roll holder on the wall where you put your hand up and you can't find the toilet roll. And while I'm on, anybody got any other toilet ideas? Oh, John or Sue puts their hand up. Why don't we change the pull down flushes to the push button flushes? I just want to meet John and Sue and ask them why they did that.
Push buttons are more economical with the water release. Because you've got the two little ones and you've got two little. If you've got a flusher, like if you've got the handle, you pull the handle down, it lets out a certain amount of water. With the buttons, you can have like a small flush.
No, hang on a minute. If you go in the toilet here in this hotel in Dubai,
yeah,
they've just got one particular flush.
No, I know there, but that's one button. It's a weird button.
It's a button, but then what I love about here is that, okay, you might save a bit of money on your flush, but then I use a bit more water on the bidet because I didn't know. No, I didn't realise how important a bidet is to my life, and I might. Have we got room to have a bidet in Cheshire?
No,
because I like the feeling of a bidet.
No, you only have bidets when you're on holiday.
I mean, why would you though? Why was your bum only need a clean on holiday?
Germs.
Darling, no. I've actually realised that I like a bidet. Anyway, I'm not going to go too far into that, but one of the I mean, anybody will know who watches anything that I do on social media will know one of my moans generally, because we're going to make this the moan podcast, because we haven't got a lot of time to get this podcast done today, because I've obviously got lots of friends to meet, my new friends in Dubai, is that packaging generally has got to change.
Can we go into that friends in Dubai bit first?
Why?
Because I just don't understand why you need to meet so many people.
No, it's not that I need to meet them, it's just they need to meet me.
Yeah, but why in every request do you basically say, yes, I'll meet you?
I don't. No, it's because I knew I had a couple of friends who lived here, but I didn't realise that I had several friends from the olden days that live here that I didn't even know. So because I've posted on Instagram and said, oh, I'm in Dubai, look, isn't it gorgeous? Which it is. The first time I came here was 25 years ago. And I was in Coronation Street and I got asked to do Wish You Were Here.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. In my mind, Corrie never used to let you do anything, but actually they did, because I did a DIY show as well. Obviously, that was a great decision by the programme makers. Who should we get to do a DIY show? I know that famous DIY expert, Denise Welch of Coronation Street.
Yeah, when I saw the that little snippet,
the VHS tapes.
You were on that guy's porch with an actual. It was you had was it a tile, and it was loose anyway. And you made it come loose with a hammer, and it was
absolute
loose.
Rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
Staged.
It was called, what was it called? The Real DIY Show with Denise Welch. And I'm digressing massively here, but I used to do Corrie in the week.
The advert of that is in our toilet at home.
It is Licensed to Drill.
Licensed to Drill.
Denise Welch, Licensed to Drill, yeah. And yeah, and I used to go up to the northeast home from Manchester on the weekends before we'd as a family all moved to Cheshire back in the days when I got Tim and Matty to move down because I was homesick. But I was doing the Real DIY Show, and we got this sort of ramshackle house that needed doing up in Jesmond, and we used to film at weekends, and we did about a 10-part series. But and I loved it, and I think I was a very good presenter of it. But that was another where I thought, who sat round the table at whatever television company it was? Was it ITV? must have been ITV, I think, and said, right, we need a host for this DIY show, somebody who's prepared to get their hands dirty and muck in with all the craftsmen and the tradesmen who come. I know, let's get Denise Welch. I don't know why they did. I mean, I was thrilled that they did, and I was thrilled that I was allowed to do it. But moving on to other things that I did then was being asked to do Wish You Were Here. And it was when Judith Chalmers, had she...
Did Judith not want to do Dubai?
No, Judith wasn't... I don't know whether Judith... I think they were just having, like, guest presenters doing it when Judith had left.
Oh.
So... it's funny because my friends call me that now to this day, don't they? Because they think we're always away, which we're not, but they think we are. So I was asked to do Wish You Were Here in Dubai. And at the time, I was working with a lovely young actress called Holly Newman, who was working as a barmaid behind the bar. Mm. And I said, oh, look, the week that I'm filming there, Holly's off that week. Can she come with me and do it with me? And they obviously said yes. And we came out, so it was 25 years ago. And boy, oh boy, what a change there's been. I mean, half this stuff we can see out our window here in the marina and everything wasn't even there.
No.
There wasn't anything like the amount of Western dress here.
No.
Absolutely not. You could only drink inside the hotels. I mean, now I love being in a place where there's not lots of drunk people in the streets because we're 11 years sober this month.
Well, one of the other things we noticed as well when we were out for dinner, when we were down by the marina, was that literally they build these blocks.
Oh, the twisty building.
Twisty buildings. We build the blocks and there's still scaffolding and cranes on the top and there's people moving in on the floors below.
Yeah, so it's like
they don't even wait for to be finished.
It's like there's so many buildings going up here. You just think you can't possibly need another block of flats or another hotel, but lo and behold, they're going up everywhere. And like Lincoln says, they build the ground floor and then maybe the first floor, and then the families move in, and then while they're in there, they're building the second floor and the third floor and up to the sky.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. But
what floor a week? They're doing like a floor a week, and they fill it all. It's incredibly busy here for people, isn't it?
I really like it here. Do you? I think the flashy Dubai image obviously has a place here, but it does everywhere. But actually, the people who live here really, really, really love it. And all of the things that, okay, culturally they're behind on, they are making huge advances on here. We just met a lovely girl here who runs her own very successful PR agency, and she was telling us about the mental health aspect here culturally. People didn't really speak very openly about mental health issues and things, but she's actually found that that is really changing, and she's a big part of that. And it's been fascinating talking to her how things have changed in 13 years, isn't it? Because she's married to an Arab guy, and he was very much of that sort of, we don't talk about things, we don't go to counsellors, we don't have therapists, and how gradually those things are changing and things are moving on, which is really good to see. I don't know how I got from packaging and my annoyance at packaging to talking about you said, anyway, can we just talk about the friends in Dubai? Because I'm always making friends.
Yeah, but some of these friends you haven't seen for years, they send you a message and then they say, oh, let's catch up. I wouldn't be catching up with anyone. Well,
no, but darling,
you tell me to shush, but I just wouldn't be. Well, why would I?
But darling,
I don't talk to them any time anyway.
But darling, you wouldn't talk to anyone at home if given half the chance at all. We'd never talk to anyone. We'd just be the two of us in the house, which a lot of the time I'm quite glad about. And many, many trips we go on, we don't like to meet other people. But here, I didn't realise so many people that I know live here, and I'm very cute. Obviously, I want to see them and catch up, but I want to see where they live and all that kind of stuff as well.
Well, I mean, no one messages me anyway and says I'm here.
Because they know that you won't want to see them.
Well, no, well, that's good.
Anyway, I'm boring myself talking about packaging. I made a little list of things. Oh, I know what I was going to have a moan about. Can we have a moan about service in the world?
In the world.
Because the service in the UK, everybody, who's listening to this, surely you must agree that service was on its knees before COVID restrictions, and now it's just appalling. I read a thing the other day about a restaurant that we frequent in London, and we still frequent it because it's near where we live there. Where someone said, I've resorted to using flash photography to try and get attention from the waiters.
Yeah.
Because it seems that they have invisible blinkers on, that even if there's maybe, I don't know, 10 tables and maybe 4 of them are occupied, whatever waiters, if you're lucky, are working that day, they walk past you as if they're blinkered. As if they're not looking at you.
Yeah, but I think they're trained to do that.
No, but when I was a waitress, Lincoln, we were told years ago as a young actress, in and out of work all the time. Back in the day I finished an acting job, I was straight to the temp agency, stuffing envelopes, working as a waitress, whatever was available. Take heed, young actors of today, including...
Hang on a minute. You worked in that telephone directory place and you jumped out the window.
No, I don't. Right. Okay, Lincoln is referring to one temporary job I got when I was about 21 when I left drama school. And it was a little company and I can't remember what it sold. And it was on Holloway Road in Archway. And the temp agency sent me there. And I wasn't, everybody said, oh, get secretarial skills to fall back on. I never did. So I never had the typing job. It was always the envelope stuffing job. But I went to one job in the Holloway Road in a little office. And do you remember, again, I'm doing the plugging in things, where you had a switchboard and you plugged...
Oh, yeah,
you plugged into the wall and you pulled out...
And you through.
And you put in... Yeah, so basically I was going, hello, Grovers & Co. or whatever it was called, I don't know, I'm just making that up. Grovers & Co. trying to connect you. And then I'd hear... Hi, I was just talking to somebody and you've just cut me off. Oh, I'm so sorry, I'll get you back now. Okay, hello, trying to connect you. Yeah, this is the 6th time I've been cut off. And I was so stressed. I had beads of sweat coming down. I swear on my life, this is the truth. I had a break and I went to the toilet. And the toilet window was quite big. And I was so embarrassed to say that I couldn't work the switchboard that I went out of the window and ran up Holloway Road. Oh, that's what you're referring to.
I love that story.
I ran up Holloway Road. But I'm talking about, I suppose, one of the main things is waiter service. There's no pride in being a server anymore.
No.
And they just seem to not take any notice of you. And then when you literally have sat for 15 minutes with people walking past you, ignoring you, and you deign to sort of wave at you, they look at you as if you're a piece of shit on their shoe, as if you were doing that snapping thing. And all you're basically saying, hi, I was under the illusion that this was a restaurant and someone might come over and take an order from me if that's not too much trouble.
Yeah. But they like talking to each other. They like to avoid... I mean, most of them will stand with their back away from where the people are. So, and that's what happens. It does happen.
And the thing is, you and I think, expect very little from service. We expect somebody to seat you, if you have to be seated and not find your own table. And within maybe 15 minutes, perhaps someone bring you a menu or come over and see if you, or even look at you would be good. Eye contact.
No, but this is the thing, and no pun intended, but the tables have turned. It used to be, you would go on, you'd review, I didn't have very good service there. Well, if everyone reviewed that, this is my opinion, I think every review would be that. Nowadays, you're surprised if you get a great review. 5-star, we were really looked after and the food was amazing, but the service was great. That is unusual, and it shouldn't be.
And now we're showering, and the tips are coming because you're so grateful if you just get a coffee and a sandwich that you've actually ordered. Oh my God. The other thing.
Hang on. Well, go on then. The other thing is.
They're not writing things down.
Oh my God, right. Okay, we'll come back to that. But one other thing, can you imagine if
Don't forget that then.
Can you imagine if you left a review? The food was amazing, the service was great, and I had great access to the toilet roll. Because...
and it was a pull button and it was a pull down function on press.
Or a chain.
Oh my God.
Imagine
I'd give them all my money as a tip, would you?
That'd be 5-star. Honestly, Trustpilot, 5-star, beautiful.
And the other thing about service is this that really gets us, the Meldrews, right? That this really gets us.
Is this the Meldrew episode?
The Meldrews, yeah, At Home with the Meldrews. And this is the thing, okay. What was ever wrong with, even in the day of technology, use an iPad if you want, I'd rather you use a pen and paper. You have your lovely pinny on, what do you call it? Apron. You're serving your serving apron, which has got your name of your establishment on it, whatever. And you got your 2 front pockets, and in it was a thing called a notepad. And with that was
that thing with paper.
The thing with paper on it, and it was a pencil or a pen. And you've got 4 people at the table, and you go, I'd like a spaghetti bolognese, please, write it down. Okay, we'd like 2 fizzy waters, please, that's lovely. We'd like some calamari over there, and I'll have a lovely chicken kebab over here, and we'd like a prawn starter here and a few little, and they write it down, they read it back. Okay, that's spaghetti bolognese, that's it. And off they go to the kitchen, and they give it to the chef, and
what to the chef?
They give the paper. They used to
they write it down.
They write it down. So this is what I'm saying to you. This is in the days, and you write it down.
Right.
And lo and behold, when you got your food, it was 99% of the time right, because the waitress or waiter had written it down.
Yeah.
Now, oh no. It is now apparently de rigueur, cool, to not write things down. Not because they just haven't been bothered to get a notepad. I was in quite a well-known establishment, right? And there was 7 of us at a table. And the waitress came and asked for the order. Now, there's 7 people, okay, all ordering a starter and a main course.
Yeah.
And she was remembering it and not writing it down. So when she said, okay, so that's da-da-da-da-da-da, and we went, no, because then they want the pasta, whatever. Okay, so you want da-da-da-da, yeah, and so when it was the 3rd time, I very politely, because I'm always very polite to people, as you know, I said, wouldn't it be just an idea to write it down? Because that's a lot to remember. And they said, no, we're not allowed to. That made me so angry for her as well.
Yeah.
But I just thought, who's patting you on the back for going, well done, Jane? You managed to remember a table of 7. You only got 3 things that never came out. Because, of course, what happened? 3 things never fucking came out.
Yeah, I know, but think about it. When you're going to have a steak, you want it medium. If you have some spaghetti, you might not want a certain ingredient in it. So they got to remember. Not only have they got to remember, he wants a steak. He wants the ribeye. He wants it medium well, and he wants the peppercorn sauce
On the side.
Just for one person out of 4, 7, 8, whatever it's going to be, even 2. It's still a lot to remember.
But I don't.
They never get. But again, I don't think they get it right.
Again, I would like to speak to John or Sue. I know John or Sue are not the inventors of everything, but they are on this Meldrew podcast.
Is it not cool to write things down now?
But this is what I'm saying to you. Who sat round and said, can we have some toilet roll? It's so dangerous to have toilet rolls exposed to the air. Let's put round cases on them that you can't visually see through, and people break their nails and eventually have to get off without wiping their bits because they've never found the toilet roll end.
Oh, hang on a minute.
No, don't let me go off my track. Lincoln, stop. Because I'm going to go off the track. At the same time, I would also like to meet the person who sat around and said, right, we think the days of writing things down and getting people's orders right are way, way in the past.
Yeah.
Let's now not do that. Tell me one person who doesn't feel more secure sitting at a table with their friends, knowing that the waiters have written down what they want. Oh, yeah. I don't know anybody that's ever gone, can I speak to the manager, please? We were a bit disappointed that we all got the correct order because our waiter wrote it down.
Yeah.
Next time we come, we'd like them to write nothing down, and we'll just sit there hoping and praying that the right food comes out.
So
never happened.
Do you give your servers memory exams? We want to know the facts.
Yeah.
Why are they writing it down? Why wouldn't they be able to remember every single one of our 12 orders?
Yeah. That's it.
And the other thing is, going back to those toilet roll things, you know what I saw the other day, and this is a fact. I saw this one that held like 4 toilet rolls inside this capsule you could never get to, right? And I worked out that they moved round in like this sort of like circular style, that the toilet roll was released into the next slot once the other toilet roll was removed, as in the actual tube.
Oh my God, who needs that?
That is a four encased, prisoned toilet rolls that I could not get to.
Mind it
and
could be.
literally,
Well, it could be because again, I don't like to do generalising, I don't like to do generalising with the genders. But I have to say, you do go into a lot of homes occupied by a man and a woman, and if the man's been in the toilet and the toilet roll's emptied, he will just balance the new one on top of the old cardboard tube.
Oh yeah, that's a trick. You've got to be that's a precise, that is like magic.
Yeah, but it doesn't take more than 3 seconds to take the old one off and put the new one on.
We don't do that as men.
Oh, do you not?
You've got to balance it on top. There's no point in taking the old roll off. Because
Why?
Because someone else will come and do that for you. You just unravel a bit. The other thing as well is, I don't like it when the toilet rolls down to like the last few, because I like a good few, pages.
To be honest, the way I am today with old dodgy do Tommy, I would have quite liked that 4 thing that goes round like a Ferris wheel. I would have got through all 4 if I could have managed to got them off the bloody thing. I'm just thinking, because we've really got to go, because I'm going to the gym.
No, I'll tell you what.
Hang on,
I've got an idea.
What?
I've got a brilliant idea. For anyone out there who's working in catering and maybe like toilets, right? You could combine, right? If you get a nice Andrex toilet roll, you could actually write down your orders on a toilet roll.
That is true.
So you could have the waiter could have it like the toilet roll attached, and they could go, "You off to the toilet, Mrs. Townley? Yeah. Oh, take a few of these." So they could actually not only serve you, write all the stuff down on the toilet roll, but they could actually give you a few of the. They call them leaves, don't they? The leaves.
No, the sheets.
No, the leaves.
They're sheets, toilet sheets. They're not leaves.
Are they? Oh,
anyway, what I'm saying is, but actually, if anybody has not got so bored that by listening to the ranting of the Meldrews and you're still hanging on in there, if you indeed are the person that invented any of these things, or indeed work in the service industry or in the toilet industry, and we'd absolutely love and adore to hear your comments as to whether or not you agree, or whether or not you've got reasons for what we're talking about.
We haven't gone into small talk on aeroplanes and taxis.
No, we're going to do that later, because I'm literally got to go to the toilet now, and then we're going to come back. And don't be talking on your own, Lincoln, because this is a joint Meldrew podcast. We'll talk to you later. We love hearing your comments. So if you listen to this podcast, I'd love it if you could leave a little review at the end of it, because it really does help us get it out and push it forward. I'm loving doing it. And from the responses, you're enjoying listening to it. So if you can, leave a little review. I'd be really grateful. Thank you. Well, Lincoln, can I just talk to you a minute?
Yeah, well.
We were going to resume this podcast and do some more moaning about things, because our moan was cut off, and we were going to resume and re-moan. But actually, we've just been so busy in Dubai because I didn't realise how many people I know here. And I'm a much more social person than Lincoln. So I don't even remember, because this is a couple of days later, why we were going out, weren't we? Were we going out?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were going out. Darling, come closer to the mic.
I'm just...
No, darling, please stop Googling. Just come closer a minute. And it's just been a social whirlwind, because obviously I put on Instagram that we were here, and people that I didn't even know lived here have called me. Now, Lincoln would just go, "Oh, lovely that you live here, bye." I go and see everybody, but it's been really nice. I think I've had coffee. There's about 9,000 moles here, malls, shopping moles here. Is that how you say it?
Well, yeah, shopping centres.
Yeah, but how do you say mole?
Mall.
A shopping mall.
Shopping mall.
Suddenly sounds weird.
Mall. Shopping mall.
Mall or mole?
Mall.
A shopping mall.
M-A-L-L.
No, mole. Yeah, you go a mole. So anyway, a shopping mall. Yeah, it just sounds, those words when you're saying they just sound weird. So I think I've been to 8,999 of them to have coffee with different people. There's one here in Dubai Hills. Is that what you call it, Dubai Hills? Mm. And when someone said to me, oh, it's the one with the roller coaster in it, I thought it would be like, they meant like the Metro Centre years ago that had a sort of fun fair bit in it, It is the world's fastest roller coaster in the world. It's got the biggest vertical thrust, as the actress said.
Sounds good.
Yeah, a vertical thrust. I didn't obviously go in it because I'd absolutely be terrified, but that's in the actual mall. That's how big and ridiculous these places are. And then I went to see a friend who lived on one of the golf estates, and that's just like gorgeous. Everybody drives around in buggies. Then we went to see another friend who, oh God, the life they lead is off the scale, sort of just green with envy. Envy, not jealousy, because they're lovely. And then I went to see another lovely friend in another mall and had coffee and heard about her love life here. So it's just been fascinating. And then tonight we've got a night to ourselves, darling.
Yeah, I need to calm down.
Yeah, we need to calm down.
And I can't see any more people. We can't. Don't start booking any.
Oh, we are tomorrow night. We've got dinner with lovely people tomorrow night.
That's tomorrow, but tonight we haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We've got dinner tomorrow night with. Anyway, never mind. Just some more friends that Lincoln doesn't know. So really, we haven't had time to moan about anything, have we? The weather's lovely and it's just a nice break. So tonight we got back and Lincoln was just looking at the news back home and you just think, it's just so depressing and so grim. It's just nice to have a little head space break from it all. Anyway, I think we're done. Aren't we done moaning for now? Yeah, I think we're done moaning. And I want to get this podcast out this week, if possible. So I need to send it off to DK to do all the technical stuff that he does on it. So normal service will be resumed next week, but we might have some special news for you. But wait and see. And there you go.
Yeah.
I'm so tired I can't even talk, can you?
No.
I think we need a nana nap, don't we?
Room service. We
need room service and a nana nap. So that's what we're going to do. So we just wanted to say lots and lots of love and we'll see. We'll speak to you next week. What?
Don't call us, we'll call you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, that's the one. Well, you can call me, actually. Don't call Lincoln, but you can call me. And as usual, we would love to hear any of your ideas, any of your thoughts. We'd love you to leave a review on the podcast. We're old and ugly enough to deal with any criticism, although I'd much rather you say that we're brilliant. And there you go. So there's an email address to let us know. It's been fantastic to get so much lovely support from you, because the more support we get, the bigger the podcast will get. So lots and lots of love. Okay, bye. So guys, if there's anything that you've ever heard me talking about that you'd like to hear more of, or indeed anything you can suggest that me, DK and Lincoln can bring to the table, contact me on denisewelchpod@gmail.com. And indeed, if you've got any questions, ask away. We'd love to hear from you.